Do you know that Hillary couldn't get to her own house for a couple months?
What?
Well, it was a new house.
She kept going to the old house.
But
like
she-
3
Well, that
houses
time
ago.
That
I
was
did do
true.
that.
I just drove to Zaletta again. Dang it.
You're listening to the Calm
The Storm.
The whimsy.
podcast. Welcome to the Fast Lane. Today we're steering into the world of driving. Good, bad, and unpredictable. Buckle up as we explore what really happens behind the wheel. Would you consider yourself a good driver?
I am amazing at driving. What was that? Wow.
No. You drive fine.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
You don't know where you're going,
I definitely don't know where
That's
I'm
true.
going.
but you are a good driver.
I also can't see the color red.
A big red truck. Can't see big red.
I'm actually not a great driver.
No?
No, I try.
Okay.
What about you?
I am a very cautious driver because I've been in way too many accidents. Not all my fault.
Okay.
So I am cautious.
If you ever want to get car sick, ride in a car with Kelly. She slams on the brakes every 2 seconds. Start, stop, start, stop, stop, start, stop.
That's
I
amazing.
don't drive with her anymore.
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
do. She makes me drive normally.
Heck yeah. I don't want to hear that.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Like, I took my motion sickness medicine before this ride.
That's hilarious. I think that I'm a good driver,
Of course you are.
but I don't know.
Your clean van makes it
Yeah,
easy
it's
to be a
so
good driver.
nice.
No,
Like,
I've been in a lot
You
of
get
accidents.
in and you're like distressed. And you're like, I can take on the world with my van. My van, I'm like, oh gosh, there's stuff on the ground. Oh, there's a wrapper over here. Oh, I gotta merge.
While you're thinking about your wrapper, you've got to merge. Oh my goodness. No wonder you get in an accident. You're thinking about all the other
Yeah,
things.
probably.
That's amazing.
Can we rewind back to driver's ed? Let's know about driver's ed.
Let's talk about it.
All right. Mine was,
I mean, it was a long time ago.
yeah. I went
No stories?
to driving
Where did you
school.
go?
I don't remember. It was on Britain Road, I think, over by Chapel Hill Mall.
Okay. You don't know the name.
I don't
Should
remember.
we share the names?
We can, sure. Why not?
Mine's not in business anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if mine is either. We'd get Burger King on our break every time. I remember that.
Okay.
That sounds nice.
It was nice.
I was not in a safe place.
Neither was I.
I was like on Wilbeth Road, down by Arlington Road. And it was like in this little plaza, and it was a room behind a storefront. Like, scary. Yeah.
Creepy.
It was super creepy, and it smelled like dirty smoke.
Okay.
It's called A+ driving. A+ driving.
Oh, mine was Mr. Zips.
Oh my gosh. See, you remember these kinds of things.
I know, it's weird.
I have
I don't
no
remember.
idea.
Drama.
Yeah.
I don't remember where we met. I remember we met in a storefront. But there was you had two, when you went to Field High School, you had 2 driving schools. You had Mr. Zips, the cheap option, and Mr. Mishler's, which was best of the best. I went to Mr. Zips. So it was quite the experience. So I didn't drive before I went with Mr. Zippy. I don't know what his name was. It wasn't any of those. But you start out the week and he's ready to go and he's in his car and you get in the car with him and my mom's like, she hasn't drove on the expressway and hasn't done this and that. So just
Pause for one moment. Did he pick you up, or did you meet him somewhere?
he picked me up for the
Okay.
driving time.
Okay. Yep. Same.
So I get in the car, we're off driving.
Remember.
Where is the first place you think he takes me? On the highway. I've never been on the highway. I don't know what I'm doing. So he takes me on the highway. And
Oh my
then
goodness.
we go to Cadillac Hill, which is covered in ice. So
What in the world?
He
Yeah,
was not
why?
cool.
You were far away from home.
Yeah, I lived in Field.
Yeah, no.
We're at Cadillac Hill. I am slamming on the brakes as hard as I can, and he has to use his little dummy brake over there because my little foot can't get the freaking brake down enough to stop the car going down Cadillac Hill.
Well, first of all, Cadillac Hill's scary enough.
Yeah.
And then
16
on
or
ice.
15 and a half.
Oh my god.
Was that your first drive?
Yes.
No.
So then the next day he comes.
Oh wait, was he acting afraid or was he laughing?
He thinks
or?
it's funny.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
don't think
Oh,
this
so
is the
he was
first...
taking you there on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh,
To,
he had
freak
his
you
list
out.
of things to do. So then the next day he comes, same jeans, little dirtier. That's what he was wearing. And you could tell he rubs his hands on his legs and they just keep getting dirtier as the day goes on.
Oh.
Ew.
It was gross. So then he takes me, I don't know where.
Same jeans, just a little dirtier.
So then he takes me to this little tiny bridge, like underpass under the bridge. There's like 2 inches on either side of the car that I have to get the car under this bridge.
Oh my god.
Where the heck were we? I don't know.
Crybaby Bridge.
No
I
wonder
don't
you're
think-
afraid to drive.
That's so weird.
Yeah, no wonder. So then, okay, he comes back again. You have to do all these hours, and it's like getting old, and you're in the car. You know, you have 3 hours driving time. So he comes and picks me up. And he's like, jeans are a little dirtier. They're just getting dirtier as the week goes on. Like him rubbing his jeans as other kids drive. Like, nasty.
Ew. Same
So
jeans?
he takes me to Ravenna, where his dad lives, to watch a movie.
You go in his house?
I went in his dad's house. We watched a movie.
That's creepy.
What movie did you watch?
I don't know. We were just sitting on the couch.
Do you remember being freaked out?
Yeah, I don't have a cell phone. I just sat there and watched a movie. I could either be driving in these weird places like down Cadillac Hill or on the highway or in this little tiny bridge or sitting on a couch with
I
his
would
dad
have been
watching
like,
a movie.
I'm not going in. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
I
have to
didn't
sit
know.
here.
I was like naive. So I watched this movie.
We
Anyway,
know.
I,
We know.
I passed driver's ed. That was great. So
Yeah.
Mr. Zips went out of business, from what I understand.
Wow.
But what was he doing with me in his dad's house?
Yeah, that's
He
scary.
clearly didn't read any of the rules.
Yeah, that's very
And
scary.
then his jeans just kept getting dirtier and dirtier. Sick. I just remember driving in this Cavalier. This little old Cavalier.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was
That's
my-
kind of terrifying for when our kids.
Yes.
So I'm
be
pretty
like,
sure
when
that they're
you're-
not allowed to do that anymore. Like
What?
at all. Like they're not allowed. Like there's, I think they even have like, recordings of like where you are and
Well,
things
that's
like that.
Oh, yeah,
because there's
that's
like
probably good.
locations now.
We were like in the 90s
because of
where
Kelly.
nobody cared about us.
Oh my
They just said,
God.
"Here, go into the storeroom and have your lesson."
Yeah.
they like
It's like freaky.
location on Eliza. Like, where are you? Who's your
Right?
driving instructor? Can I ride with you?
Right.
Yeah, can I sit in the back seat, please?
You are not watching a movie with this man's dad. First of all,
No,
Very
teach your kid
weird.
don't get out of the car. Like that's weird.
Scary.
So my experience with Mr. A Plus was he picked me up and we did a couple drives local or whatever, and then like on the 4th day or something like that, he picked me up. First of all, I don't think he picked me up.
did
2
his
days?
jeans get dirtier by the
No,
day? Oh,
I
that's
didn't.
good.
I didn't pay attention to his jeans, but and so I remember him either not coming or maybe that was my sister. Like they never showed up, but they told them that they were coming, and like told the company that they had driven with my sister. And my mom was like, "What? They never picked her up." That was my sister, not me. But I remember we drove to Warren.
What?
Like, I could have been kidnapped. This is the other thing. Like, this is bizarre
Yeah.
because he had to drop a package off.
Ooh.
Like a manila,
Manila
envelope. Yeah. And, like, I don't know what it was.
What is it called?
Manila.
Oh,
Manila,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vanilla.
I thought she said vanilla.
I said Manila.
I was like, it is
Manila.
not
Yeah.
vanilla.
Manila folder or envelope. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is really strange. Like, what is in this envelope? Why do we have to come to Warren? Like, that's far. But that was my entire driving day. Like, to Warren and back was pretty much the thing. And I was like, I didn't go watch a movie, but I still was, that's creepy. That's far away with
Did he
no
get in
cell
the car?
phone.
He's like, drive.
No! Duck!
One thing about that guy, the reason I know his jeans were dirtier, first of all, the stench in the car got worse
Ew, 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 ew.
every single day.
No.
And then he would rub his legs and like, ugh.
He rubbed his legs out of nervousness. I
I'm
bet.
sure because he takes us down Cadillac Hill and he has to use his dummy brake on the other side because I can't stop the car.
His dummy brake.
I don't.
Any
My driving
experiences?
instructor wasn't weird. No,
That's
it was
nice.
fine for
Male,
me.
female.
I don't remember. I think male.
Okay.
But it was just a normal experience. But when my mom took me to get my temps, she made me drive around a circle, like to go home.
Yeah.
And it was like real busy. I'm like, it was my first time behind the wheel, and I had to drive
That's
through
terrible.
like around a circle.
Like damage circle.
Yeah.
Just think about green now. All these poor kids getting
my
their
Right.
license. I still can't figure it out.
Sometimes
Well,
I
what
can't
the heck?
either.
It's pretty rough.
The 2-lane ones really get me too.
I actually had to beep at somebody today
Yeah.
because when they were going around the one that's by Maslin Road and Butler Road, I was going around and I was going towards Aldi, okay?
Okay.
And another person was coming around on the outside and didn't go straight like they were supposed to. Cut me off.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
like,
would be the
no.
person that cuts you off.
Did
probably.
you have road rage?
I don't usually have road
Okay,
rage, but I did beep my horn.
That's good.
Sometimes I road rage. I don't know. I don't think I consider it road rage.
So who in your house taught you how to drive?
My dad.
Your dad.
My mom.
My mom. My dad could not handle it.
Really?
Oh, no. No way. I
think
remember
I rode with my mom though too.
as a kid, we had stick shifts a lot. My mom would drive, my brother would shift the car. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
He'd shift for her.
Was
But-
she teaching him or?
Well, she taught him, but
yeah.
my dad just couldn't do it. He was too stressed. I remember I was in college. I bought a 1997 Mazda Miata, and I was so excited. I did not know how to drive it. It was a stick shift. I had no idea. So I went and bought the car. My mom helped me go home and try to teach me, and it took some time. And then I remember trying to take my dad out, and he's like, "Do you want me to drive?" Like, no. He was a nervous wreck the entire time.
That will be you.
My.
That will be me.
So who will teach your
100%.
kids to drive?
Lenny, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I will be a big panic ball. Mm-hmm. My poor children.
I think we'll both do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
But if it's stick shift, it's going to have to be me.
And does
'Cause
he not know how to drive
he
stick
does not
shift?
know how to drive stick.
I can't either.
Really?
I love stick shift cars.
Let me tell you about my stick shift car experience.
Tell us.
So I learned how to drive stick shift on our friend's car. What kind of car was it? I'm trying to think. Nova. It was a Nova.
Oh, okay.
Blue Nova, I'm pretty sure. And the clutch was so bad that you really didn't even have to like press the brake. Like it was a easy process to learn because it was not difficult. And so I learned how to drive stick on that. And then I had a boyfriend at the time that had a very nice Honda Civic SI souped up car. And he let me drive it. We were at church and I needed to go pick up my friend Hannah, and I didn't have my car because he picked me up. And so he let me drive his stick shift Honda Civic SI. And he just told me, he's like, just don't squeal the tires. Well, when you're on a hill
Oh,
and you're feeling like you're rolling backwards when you need to
yeah.
start going, you just kind of gun it. And
Yeah.
so I did. And it was like, and I was like, well, what he
amazing.
doesn't know won't hurt him.
Oh my goodness.
But
he
yeah.
drove a stick shift car.
What's the difference?
Are you serious?
Not anymore, but I used to not know.
Oh,
You remember, you made so much fun of me
What?
when we were at Dairy Queen and I locked my keys in the
Oh,
car.
yeah.
And I had to call AAA and they said is it stick or automatic? And I was like, I had no idea what the difference was.
That's amazing.
No, I cannot drive a stick shift.
It's so fun.
I don't love it.
I wish I could drive another one. I just all have automatics now. They're just fun. I just remember when I learned how to drive my convertible. You know that hill on Howe Road at 6 corners?
Yeah. Oh.
That is like the big test. If you can get up that,
No.
you're golden.
No way.
That was
No way.
tough. My mom taught me how to drive stick. She's good at it.
One time we went on vacation and my mom had a stick shift and she wanted to rest. So she's like, you're going to have to drive. I'm like, but I don't know how to drive a stick shift. And so like, isn't it something like when you're at a certain speed, you don't have to really shift it?
Yeah.
Like once you get
So she would get me on the highway. She would do this stuff and then just fall asleep. And if I had to stop or slow down, I'd have to wake her up to help me to like shift it again.
Oh, my
wow.
word.
Yeah, it was stressful. It was the only time I've ever driven one.
So your mom shifted for you to get there. And like my brother would shift for my mom.
Yeah.
He loved to do that. So
Yeah. I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. We'd be like, like I couldn't do it.
I remember one time my mom was driving my brother-in-law's truck, which is stick shift, and he had like a skeleton head like on the stick, and she was driving it. I don't remember why. We had to get it to somewhere for him, and it just screwed on, and it unscrewed while she was driving, and she was like panicking. We were dying. It was hilarious.
one last stick shift story. So I went with a kid to his high school prom, and I had a Mazda Miata, and he's like, yeah, I know how to drive stick. So I let him drive my car. He had no idea. The whole time I was like, oh my gosh.
So what did he do?
He was just out of gear, and it's like, I'm like, nah, I can drive.
Oh my goodness.
He tried really hard.
Your
though.
baby too, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good time.
Makes me laugh that you guys keep saying the kind of cars. Like I have cars that have steering wheels and 4 tires and windshield wipers. Half the time I don't even know what my current car is called.
Can I just mention something about your car?
Of course, I know exactly what you're going to mention, but go right ahead.
I don't remember the story, but I remember something was wrong with the car. So we lifted the hood up, and there's a wrench just hanging out.
That wasn't my fault. I didn't put a wrench in.
What was the story?
So who put the wrench there?
Just a mechanic. But how did that happen?
It wasn't a mechanic. It was a family member
Oh.
that was working on my car.
Okay, so what was the story?
They left it there. Like they were trying to help me and then left
Did you
it
hear
inside
a
of the
noise,
hood.
or why did we look under your hood?
I don't think you looked under my hood. I took it to a mechanic and it was Dick King.
Yes.
And when he called me to come pick it up, I think you maybe were with me.
Yeah.
And we went to pick it up and he's like, well, I'll tell you the problem. There's a wrench in the hood of your car.
Oh my goodness. Did you take it because you were hearing something?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't my fault though. I don't think I even knew how to open the hood of my car.
She definitely
Do you
didn't.
know how to do that now?
It takes me a minute to find the little button,
Okay.
but I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I teach you something about the gas too?
I don't remember. What?
The little arrow that says what side the tank.
Yeah.
The thing's on.
That
I'm
was just recently.
pretty sure I taught you that.
When was like
that?
yesterday.
No, for real. That was in the last couple months that you showed me that.
Pretty sure I showed you that and my husband that. If it has the arrow on it,
Wait.
means the gas tank's.
Hold on. So did you know what side your gas tank was on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I have a moment where I'm like, wait, what side is it on? I just look at the window.
Gotcha. Instead of looking at the arrow.
Yeah, Lenny always knows what side it's on.
I do too.
But he didn't know there was like the little arrow.
Yeah, I
like the
didn't
arrow
either.
points to the side of the car.
I know it. I know that there was an arrow. too.
Now I know.
An arrow.
Any other
So what
funny,
kind of car
embarrassing-
do you have? What year is it and what make is it? Let's talk about the makes of our car real quick.
Okay.
Just for embarrassing me? You're such a brat.
I have
So what kind is it?
Oh, it's a white minivan.
I have a 1996 Dodge Town & Country.
I have a 2012 Honda Odyssey.
Come on.
It's a Toyota.
It is.
It
Sienna?
is.
Oh, it is a Sienna.
I'm
I have
impressed.
no idea what
It's
year.
a 1992, I
Oh
think.
my gosh,
Oh,
whatever.
no, it's probably like it's a
new.
newer
It's probably
version.
like 2017.
17?
Yeah.
I think it is.
See, I know your car more than you.
Yeah, you do.
27.
So
Weirdo.
it's funny when we're driving down the road. Like, I know all the cars. I don't know why. I love cars. So, like, when I was younger, I just knew all the cars. So
My dad
Leo
just always
asked
told me what they were.
Yeah, my Leo always was like, "Hey, well, Mom, what car is that?" Lenny's like, "I don't know."
Same.
car that
No
is.
clue. I just need a car that gets me from one place to another. And
That's
a GPS
amazing.
to tell me how to get there.
Oh yeah, because she's not getting there.
You guys remember?
Do you know that Hillary couldn't get to her own house for a couple months?
Well, it was a new house.
She kept going to the old house.
But
like
she-
three
Well, that
houses
time
ago.
That
I
was
did do
true.
that.
I just drove to Zaletta again. Dang it! Like 3 houses ago.
I get lost in thought. That is true.
I know you'd always drive to that house,
Oh
but
my
I need to hear your
goodness.
story.
I loved that
No,
house.
and I lived in the neighborhood, so she had been to my house before, multiple times at this point.
But I always GPS
But she always GPSed to get to my house.
everywhere.
And so she had a GPS to get to her own house, which was amazing. It's hilarious.
One
to
time
me.
after working for like 5 or more years at the same place, I had to call my boss and say, I'm late for work because I got lost because there was a detour and I didn't know how to get where I was going. I have no sense of direction.
I
It's terrible.
love it so much. So if we put you in the woods,
I would be done.
you would have no idea how to get
Same
out.
as the zombie apocalypse. Just take me
Okay.
out.
So do you guys remember like PT Cruisers or
Yes.
Geo Trackers when they were cool? And
Yeah,
now they're
my
like,
mom had a
ooh.
geo tracker, a magenta geo tracker.
That's amazing. Do you even know what that is?
Not a
Hillary?
clue.
No
It
clue.
got broken into. The back window got cut out. It's like not a Jeep, a small off-roading. What was it? What were they
it
even
was,
like?
It was like a knockoff of a Jeep.
a Jeep. Yeah.
Not as cool, but we thought they were awesome.
They were pretty awesome in the 90s for sure.
Yeah.
So my sister's directionally challenged as well.
Okay.
So we'd like go to church. She's 8 years older than me. So like she's 20 years old or whatever driving us to church, and I am 12 telling her where to go. And we go to church camp meeting. She's like, I don't know where we're going. Oh, we go down this road.
Part of my problem too is
amazing.
that I use a GPS no matter what. So I just don't pay attention. It tells me what to do.
So did you just put in Zaletta and that's why you drive that way?
No.
That one she probably just has in her brain.
Yeah, so like if I was in a specific neighborhood or turning down a specific road.
I just remember talking to her. She's like, ah, shoot. I just went to Zaletta house again. I'm like, that was like 3 houses ago, Hillary.
It wasn't even recent. That
Ew.
was before I met you.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
It's ridiculous. I used to get so mad because I'd get all the way there and
And
be
it's
like, I
probably
do not live
20
here.
minutes at least from your new house.
Out of in the different
My
direction.
husband's like, I would love to know the amount of gas we go through from you getting lost. And I never really thought about it before he said that. Probably a lot.
But you don't get as lost with GPS, right?
No, not as lost, but even
Okay.
sometimes with the GPS on, if they're not talking to me and I get lost in thought.
Like, guys, don't let her phone die because she's not getting home tonight.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
Do you know how to get home
From where?
from here?
Yes.
Okay, let's say from Summit Mall. Could you get home from Summit Mall to your house?
Yes, if I could find the highway.
Okay. Good.
It's amazing.
One time
I know like every street name in every neighborhood everywhere.
I know. Pacey got so annoyed with me on our way home from school the other day because they were like, go through our friend's neighborhood because it's faster. And I'm like, okay, but I have no idea how to get through her neighborhood and then to the highway. So like he's giving me directions. And he's like, turn right here, turn left here. I mean, there's a lot of turns.
Yeah.
So I'm turning, and then we get to a road that he just assumes that I'm going to know which way to turn. And I'm like, yeah, I still need you to tell me what to do. And he's like, seriously? Yes.
Turn left.
One time my cousin followed the sun to get us home. Like he knew which direction his house was based on where the sun was. And I'm like, you're 10 years old. how are you doing this? I felt so dumb.
I got lost once coming home from Geauga Lake, and I got onto Route 14, and I knew at that point, because like I don't know how I got to Route 14, but I knew if I was on Route 14, I'd just take it all the way to Camp Carl, and I'd get on the highway right to Camp Carl, and I'd be home.
No.
Like, I knew how to get there.
I'm like, the sun's everywhere. I don't know.
No, it's not, honey. honey. It rises in the east and sets in the west.
It looks like it's everywhere. Do you remember when I drove to Chicago to visit my husband? And then I drove 2 hours in the wrong direction on my way home.
I don't remember that.
I was so upset. And that was before GPS. So I was like using like the printed out map
like a
quest
paper.
I drove to Chicago by myself.
What about that Africa night we had?
That wasn't me. That was my husband. Tell the story.
I don't remember what we drove forever.
Wait.
You tell the story.
No, you're telling the story, but this is Mr. Perfect Driver. He's going to love to hear this.
He's going to be so mad.
I don't care. He never gets lost. He literally is like a human GPS. It's amazing. And we went to, I don't even know where we went.
We went to some play or something.
No, it was an Africa reunion. We watched those kids, like our African team. Those of us who went to Africa went to watch the kids that traveled around from Africa singing.
Oh, yeah. So we drive. It was probably 2 hours away. We drive. And then it's late. I think all of us have jobs and things the next day. Yeah. School.
He was driving the van.
It's like a weeknight. He was driving the church van. So on the way home, we're driving.
Everybody's sleeping.
We're driving. And I'm like, wait a minute. We've been driving for a long time. So finally he stops. And we are like 2 hours away from home. And we've been driving for 2 hours. So it was crazy.
He like drove towards Columbus or something. He
was so mad.
Oh my goodness.
He was so mad. And I was like, this is amazing. I love every minute of this, and I'm never going to stop talking about it.
Oh my goodness.
I loved it, so I still bring it up. It's so funny to me.
Amazing.
People are like,
not to him, I'm sure.
It isn't, but I love it. And people were like, I got to get up for work in like 3 hours. Do you remember?
Yeah.
We're not going to be home in 3 hours.
Yeah, it was bad.
Sure I worked in an architectural firm, and I had to be up in those 3 hours.
So good. Well, I will not be teaching my children to drive. He will.
Okay.
Even though he made that one mistake. That one time.
That
I'll never let go. So are you a backseat driver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so we have this weird thing, and Aaron always makes fun of me about it. I don't think you guys know about this. But if I am in the passenger seat and we are driving, and he literally scares me sometimes. So like I hold on, or like hold on to the bar up top.
Yeah, I do that too.
I do too.
And I'm like, why are you going so fast? What are you doing? And all these things. But if we're on the highway and a semi is next to us and I feel like it is too close, I literally put my hands up and I go like this. And he says to me, do you have the force or something? And I said, yes, because it never comes over my way. But yes, like put my hands up. He's like, what do you think you're doing? Like, it's not going to stop that from coming over. And I said, it makes me feel better.
It's like I lean to go into parking spots. Like if you lean, you're going to be able to get where you want to go. Do you ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Your
she
body?
doesn't. Yeah,
Sometimes.
like lean over because you want to
Are you on a motorcycle?
go to the left a little more.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Stop. Are you a backseat driver?
I don't think so. I mean, I'll have those moments where I'm jumpy, but like for the most part, no.
Okay, I have another story I need to tell you too. Go ahead, Kelly.
I totally am.
I mean,
Okay, I want to hear all about it.
I mean,
Am I that bad?
oh my gosh.
At least I can tell you where to go. You won't get lost.
She tells you where to go.
I forget to tell you where to go.
She tells you where to go, and she tells you how to do it, and she tells you when to do it. And she's like, use this lane. I would get in this lane. No, go back to that lane.
So she's better than I am because I forget to tell you.
Yeah, at least she does get me where I need to go.
So
She's
like
very bossy.
Lenny gets frustrated with me because sometimes I make noises when we're driving. I'm like,
Yeah.
and he's like, was
same.
somebody shot? Oh, no, it's just a bag.
I thought
It's
there was a
okay.
deer
It's just a bag
coming.
in the road. It's no big deal. Just a bag. Nobody was shot. We're okay.
I do the same thing.
That's
And
amazing.
Aaron's always like, where's the deer?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
And I always try to tell him, like, the best way to go. When I'm like, I know he knows how to go. Why am I opening my mouth? Just let him drive.
I try to tell
You can't
him.
help yourself.
There's a bag.
We have like this issue back and forth of like which way's faster.
Oh, yeah.
And I am convinced that my way is faster, and he's convinced his way is faster. And so it's just hilarious because when we're in the car, he'll go his way, and I'm like, "Why are you going that way? Like you should go this way. You know that every time we're in the car, that's the way that you should go." And so it's like a banter back and forth about it. He will get in like a zone in his brain. And he's not like, he's paying attention to the road, but he's not paying attention to where he's going necessarily. And so I used to tell him all the time, like, you're going to need to turn here or you're going to need to do this. And he gets mad at me. Well, now I don't say anything. I just sit there quietly as we drive past what we're doing. And I say to him, and he's like, oh, I forgot. That's where we were going. And I was like, okay, well, I just didn't know when to say anything because I didn't want to get yelled at because it's hilarious. And so he's done it multiple times. I kind of like say sometimes, where are we going?
Yeah.
Or like, do you need to turn here? Instead of being like, you should turn here. So I'm like a little bit more delicate about it now, but like seriously,
The
come
question is, though, does that make it worse when we're delicate? Do you need to turn
Do you
here?
need to turn here?
Does Chris drive
Should
for
you
you?
turn here?
Oh, he drives, and I don't know where we're going, so I don't know the fastest way or what turn to make. I just
Or when
am
you're going
along
to get
for
there.
the ride.
Or,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So we touched on road rage very minorly,
Yeah.
but like, what are your issues with driving? Do you have road rage? Are you not a road rager? Kelly, what are you doing?
I do not have road rage.
I
I do not have road rage.
Okay.
My husband.
You have road rage.
Me?
Oh my gosh.
Can I just say I feel like you have rage in general?
You have road
How?
rage. We were driving on the highway. Listen, she gets so mad at people and her hands fly up in the air.
I don't remember this.
We were driving on the highway and someone was in front of us driving slower than she wanted them
Oh
to drive.
gosh! Stop.
She's like, oh my gosh, what is this guy doing? Her hands are flying up in the air and
You
she's
were
like
mad too.
flipping out, not like you.
You were mad.
And we get over to the left
Oh,
and
shush.
pass, and it was Steve. She's like, oh gosh, that was Steve.
No.
We knew
Okay, but
who
I
was
don't
driving.
get crazy. I guess when I think of road rage, I think of someone who wants to take it out on the other person.
Okay, yeah.
So my husband, when we were dating,
Yeah.
so he is a pastor. And he just got done talking to the youth group about how.
Are you allowed to share this?
Yes, I am. For the girls not to go for the bad boys,
Okay.
and for the boys to find girls with good character. So we just got done with this whole thing that he preached to the youth group about. So he's driving me home to my home.
Uh-oh.
When
my
we're
home.
dating.
Driving me home to my home.
So we're driving. And this guy starts tailgating him. And Lenny gets mad, so he brake checks him.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This was when you were dating?
I've been there.
I feel like there's more than one of these stories.
Oh, well, yeah. So the guy flies around him, and Lenny gets ticked off. So we missed our turn. He's following the guy, tailgating him. I was so mad. And he just zoomed by Lenny. Lenny's on his butt. And I'm like, what in the heck? And he sped up, tailgated him. I was yelling at him to stop. Stop, 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 stop. Slow down, please slow down. And then I said, please don't be the bad boy. That kind of worked.
Wow.
So then he stopped chasing people down. He doesn't chase them anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Should I go a step further?
I feel like you should.
Oh gosh. Honey, I love you. I'm just going to share. Okay. So anyway, we're driving two separate cars to his parents' house
I
one day.
remember this story. It's so good.
Okay.
Oh, man.
This guy starts tailgating Lenny, like out of control on this back road. Like we're just going to his parents' house. So Lenny slams on the brakes. The guy slams into the back of him. And I am just dumbfounded. Like, what just
I
happened?
don't know what to say.
I don't either. Now, we had a child in the back of his car.
Your child?
Yes, our child together.
Oh my gosh.
We made together is in the back of his car. And I was so angry. And he was so upset. Like, he didn't know the guy would, like, hit him. He was just brake checking him like he's done for his whole life. The guy hit him, so they stopped. The dude has beer all over the car. He's totally drunk.
Oh, no.
And he lives on the road. So Lenny talked to him, and the police came, and then it was crazy how it all went down. But he ended up pulling into the house next to Lenny's parents' house.
It was the neighbor?
Yeah. It was like the kid of the neighbor or something. But anyway, Lenny talked to him. Lenny has never done anything like that again because he learned, I mean, our kids were in the car. He's like, I'm done with that. So we learned our lesson, but it actually worked out kind of cool because the guy came and helped Lenny pull his bumper out of his car after the police were gone because his car was like, he wasn't going to press any charges, but his bumper was
Messed up.
But anyway, there was that.
Wow.
So our road rage is pretty much gone. Like, we get a little angry, but we don't go, like, chasing people or brake checking people anymore.
We or he?
He or me. I've never brake checked anybody.
Really?
Or chase them, but you're
I
saying
brake
we-
checked
never
somebody last week
chased
with
anybody.
all of our children in the van.
All right.
Were they that close that they could have hit you?
Absolutely. And I was...
And you don't know.
PO'd.
She says, I don't know what to say. I did it last week.
And I said out loud to all of the children in our car, I said, I hope he hits me. It would be his fault.
Hope your seatbelts are on, kids.
I
We're
was
going
so
for a
mad.
ride.
We were on our way home from school, and we were going through the neighborhood, and this kid, I'm guessing it was a high schooler because he was driving, was like riding my tail. And I was like, I looked at the kids and I was like, this is ridiculous. Why is this kid on my back? And they like turned around and they're like, what? Why
There
is
was a kid
he
on your back, Crystal.
my
What?
gosh.
Where did he come from? Oh, there's somebody in the car. He's on Crystal's back.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Sorry.
Where do I even start?
Changes the whole story.
Anyways, so I was like, what is happening? He is so close to me. It was ridiculous. And so I brake checked him and he backed off. And you can only go 25 miles an hour. I mean, you could go faster, but the speed limit is 25 miles an hour in this neighborhood. And I'm going 25. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Like, I can't go faster. I shouldn't go faster. You could go around me and act like a fool. That would be fine. And so I brake checked him again. He did it all the way out of the neighborhood, all the way to the main road. And I was like, seriously, if you're going to follow me, he turned the other way. But I was like, if you're going to follow me, I am going to stop my car and you're going to have to go around me because it was ridiculous.
That's annoying.
Literally did that last week. Speaking of road rage and husbands, one night we were coming home from a Super Bowl party and it was really snowy and we were driving on 77 and so there was a car in the right lane and we were in the middle lane and we needed to go off towards 76, like towards Talmadge area. And so this guy wouldn't let Aaron over. So Aaron would speed up. So when he sped up, the guy sped up. And Aaron would speed up and the guy would speed up. And so he was just basically playing chicken with Aaron, but Aaron needed over because we needed to go towards east and not towards the west way. He lost control, not Aaron. The car lost control and went up the hill on the side of the berm and spun around and was facing the other way and Aaron just kept going. And I was like, please don't ever do that again. Like, what are we doing?
Oh my goodness.
That was, yeah.
I can't handle it. I can't handle the road
I am not
rage.
like that.
My husband has road rage,
Does he?
and it drives me
What is it
bananas.
with the guys in road rage?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The best part is the stuff that irritates him. I'm like,
You do.
I would have done that. What did they do wrong? And he's like, oh my gosh. And then I mean, I'm totally the person that people are yelling at, and I'm clueless. Like, I have no idea that I'm making them mad.
Oh my goodness.
I don't mean to.
You're just doing your thing.
Is it generational? Like it starts, like my dad would get mad at people and be like, Moosehead!
Moosehead.
That's what he'd call people.
That's amazing.
So like when I get mad, I call people Moosehead.
I have never heard you
get,
call
like-
someone a moosehead.
I have called people a Moosehead before.
Wow.
But he would get mad and call people Moosehead.
That's amazing.
That was his verge of road rage. So I could handle the Moosehead comments. I can't handle the following them and brake checking comments. But luckily, my husband is over that stuff. It's been a long time.
That's
I,
good. My
I might
husband's
need to
not
go
over
to
it.
therapy for it. I will brake check you all day long. I almost
I'll
did
be brake
tonight
checked
on
all
our way
night long.
home. On our way here,
Yeah, I know.
there was a guy and he was super close to me, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, back up, because I will brake check you."
Yikes. It's funny because I don't know what my husband does without people in the car. He probably still has the road rage.
Oh my
The
god.
road rage.
The road rage. So, how about we share some funny stories, accidents, speeding, all the different things that we've experienced over the years.
So you know how I don't pay attention? Like like I do, but I don't.
You don't.
Well, I was driving my messy mom van, and I was on
my gosh.
224. And you know how it changes from like a road to a highway?
Yes.
So I was driving on the highway
Yep.
going towards what turns into the road.
Okay.
And I put my rear view mirror down because I wanted to look at my kids in the back. And I was singing with them or talking to them or something. Well, I forgot to change my speed when I went from the highway to the road.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a state trooper that got me. And he's driving behind me. His lights are on. And I had no clue. So I continued to maintain my speed while he followed me.
High-speed chase.
Chase.
But he never turned like the noise on, the sirens. It was just
are
the
you
lights.
Sure, though?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Or you had a movie on, didn't you? Playing in the car.
I think we were singing and dancing.
So you might not have heard the sirens.
It's possible, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure they came on at some point.
He pulled up next to me. Yeah. So I maintained my speed while being followed and trying to be pulled over. And I'm just like, do. He pulls up next to me and like points to the side of the road. And I was like, uh-oh. So I pull over and he's like, did you not see me for the past 5 minutes following you down the road? And I'm like, nope, sure didn't.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, I wouldn't have kept driving, like, if I knew. And
Wow.
so I got a very big ticket. I was like 22 over, and I maintained that speed the whole time he chased me down the road.
So did you just get the speeding or not cooperating with a
I only got speeding because I think once
he realized
that I'm just a hot mess mom.
Yeah.
He was like, okay,
you're not a criminal.
I have to give you a ticket because hello, but I didn't get in trouble other than that. When I called my husband, like, I love him to death, but he's never going to be the one that's like, it's okay. Like, what? You know, he's like, that's reckless driving. You're going to lose your license. And I'm like,
Yep.
So I call the number on the ticket because I'm terrified to go to court.
Yeah.
I did not want to go to court. She let me just pay it over the phone.
Oh, you're so lucky.
I know. It was not cheap. It was like $250.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've gotten pulled over quite a few times.
What about that time we were doing a wedding up at Camp Carl? And just remember, our kids had gone to camp like 2 months prior.
Yeah. We were driving to Camp Carl. And what happened?
She got off the highway.
Yes.
There's a stop sign.
Oh, you
but
pulled through it.
she pulled through the stop sign.
Yep. Erin's done that twice.
We got pulled over. She's like, I'm not from around here. On the car, it says Camp Carl.
There's
or
like
bus.
horses trotting on my windows.
I'm not from around here. I've never been here before.
We've never been here before. We're not used to this area.
Oh my
Camp
goodness.
Carl is the best.
So you rolled through the stop sign.
Yeah, and then I think I said to him, well, I stopped at the light, and he's like, there is not a light. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's a stop sign. Erin has rolled through it multiple times and rolled through it without a seatbelt on. So he's gotten seatbelt violations and stop sign
Good. He should wear a
violations,
seatbelt.
Right?
It's a bad kid.
He is a bad kid.
Oh, man.
Well,
are you speeders? Is that how you say it?
I'm not a speeder now, but I was a speeder. I had like 12 points on my license.
Oh, my word.
And
How many points can you get before you lose one?
I think I might have 11 and a half. I think 12 is the...
Oh, my gosh.
So my license was ready to be taken.
Wow.
So I'm trying to think. My very first ticket, I'll tell you my very first ticket, was when I was coming home from work, when I worked at Taco Bell. It's on Memorial Day weekend. My mom literally just told me, like, drive safe. Police are out everywhere. It's a holiday weekend. And I'm like, okay, not a big deal. Well, you know how that hill that we come down with the flashing lights and the lake is at the bottom? Mm-hmm. I just was like cruising down that hill, not even thinking about it. It's really easy to pick up speed.
Yeah.
And so I was like 15 over. So that was my first ticket. I was 16 and I had to go to court.
Ugh.
And the judge was like, I don't ever want to see you here again, right? And I was like, oh yeah, you won't ever see me again.
11 points later.
I wasn't 16 when I went again, but I did have to go again because I did have a moving violation. And I was going 21 over and I had to go to court. I remember calling my dad and saying, so I got a ticket. Actually, I didn't say that. I said, hey, you want to go to lunch at Pearson's? And he was like, sure. Not odd at all. Like, I don't usually go to lunch with my dad, but so we got there and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, so I got a ticket last night. The kicker was I wasn't supposed to be where I was.
Oh, no.
When I got the ticket. So I was forbidden to go to some people's house. And where I got the ticket would be the only location that I would have been at to get to their house. Oh. So no other reason. So I called my dad. So we had lunch and I told him and I was like, I want you to handle it. And he's like, you're going to have to tell your mom. And I was like, no. I was like, I can't tell my mom because it wasn't my dad who forbid me to be at those people's house. It was my mom. And so I was trying to get out of it because usually I always call my dad. Like if I need something, hey dad, like get me out of this. So I was going 21 over. I didn't have my driver's license with me. He should have probably taken my car and probably taken me not to jail, but like to get a ride. Like he should have impounded my car.
Yeah.
And he didn't, and he was really nice to me. And then I had to go find my driver's license, which I couldn't find. So then I had to go get new driver's license and I had to go to court.
Oh my goodness.
But they only charged me court costs when I went there. Because the judge was really nice. But yeah.
Kelly, that's good.
That is good. Usually when you go to court, sometimes you can get off with that.
I got a ticket 2 weekends in a row.
Oh, no.
By the same police officer. I was on Portage Trail. It's 25. And I never went 25 when I had a sports car. Ew. I had a red sports car.
What kind was it?
It was an RSX Acura.
Ooh.
And
that is amazing.
What?
That
she has
car.
no idea what that is.
I know.
Red.
And I was going 25 and I went through and I was like, oh shoot, because I saw him and I was like, dang it. And it was like, oh my gosh. Bless you. It was like 3:00 in the morning because I was coming home from Erin's apartment and hanging out with him and our friends. And he was like, where are you from? Because my driver's license said Clinton. And he's like, why are you up here? And I was like, I'm visiting my friends. And he's like, you have friends in the Falls and you live in Clinton? And I'm like, yeah. Like, I think he was trying to get me for, like, alcohol or something, but I hadn't been drinking. So I didn't drink. So it was like a weird questioning, but I think that was what he was trying to get at. Like, where are you coming from? What are you doing here? And so he was like, I'll let you go this time. And I was like, okay, thank you. Next weekend.
Oh, no.
Same road, same cop, same spot. Should have known. Should have been 25.
Ugh.
And he looked at me and he goes, I pulled you over last weekend, didn't I? And I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, same cop. I was like, yep. He's like, I can't let you go this time. And I'm like, darn. So then that was tickets. How about accidents? You have tickets?
I have to tell you a funny story first. So my friend Heidi had this thing. And we were driving home. I don't know where we were coming from. There was 2 incidences, but it was just her and me. We're driving home in her car. We are down Canton Road. Sirens are on. And she stopped. She's like, put your hands up. Put your hands up. You got to put them up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Just put them up. Just put them up. Just put them up. Just, like, she has them up in the air. She goes, I heard you don't get a ticket. You got to put your hands up. I'm like, okay. So we're both sitting there with our hands in the air.
Oh,
Cop comes.
my goodness.
We do the thing. Whatever. Okay. So that moment passes, and I try to recover from the trauma. And then we're going to Cedar Point. We're driving home from Cedar Point with multiple people in the car. Here we go again. I think Heidi and I were in the back seat. I can't remember. Anyway.
So she wasn't even driving this time.
I don't think so. But she freaked out and made the whole car put their hands up. So every time she's like, you got to put your hands up. Put them up. Put them up. Put them up. So I'm like, okay, we got our hands up. We're not guilty at all, officer. We're good. We don't have nothing here.
Officer, we're not guilty.
Oh, man.
Did they ever say anything about that? Like,
no. And I just
They
don't
didn't ask
know.
like if you had a gun or anything?
No, I just
like,
wonder
that's
if she
weird.
still does that.
oh, we
I
gotta
need to
know.
ask her.
Heidi, do you do that
Heidi,
still?
you still put your hands up.
Question mark.
Because I kind of want to know, but I don't know if we ever
Heidi,
actually
do
got
you
a
listen
ticket.
to us?
Probably not.
Well, she should.
She needs to. I just want to know if she ever. I can't remember if she got a ticket.
Hands up. I'm going to do that next time.
I don't know if I was driving or she was driving.
My kids are going to have their hands up. They're going to be like, oh.
But it works. Like, she was convinced, like, you don't get a
It's
ticket.
amazing.
Like, did she not get a ticket?
I don't think so.
I wonder if she ever has.
I don't know.
Because if you put your hands up, maybe
You'll
you
get
don't.
a ticket.
I
need
did
to
get
know.
pulled over not too long ago, going way over the school zone because my kids, this is the problem.
School zone?
When I take Leo to football, he plays like Thunderstruck and Danger Zone and all these things to get all pumped up. So we're driving to school,
Thunderstruck.
going through a school zone. I know I'm in a school zone. I know in my brain I'm stopped waiting for the buses to turn into the parking lot. Thunderstruck's on. It's time for me to go, and I just take off. So I drive past, and sure enough, I'm like, oh no. The guy comes up, he's like, Liza's in the front seat, all the kids are in the back. Liza's panicking, and he comes up to Liza's window. He's like, where are you rushing to? I'm like, I don't know.
Put your hands up, I don't know.
I said, I have 15 minutes to get 5 minutes down the road, so I have no idea why I'm rushing. So yeah, he let me go on a warning.
You should have told
I
him
was
that
going
danger zone was on.
20 miles per hour over the speed
And he
limit.
gave you just a warning?
Wait, so you were going 40 miles an hour in a school zone?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
My
Did
sister
she have her hands up?
called me.
Right.
I called my sister, and she's like,
That doesn't happen.
I got pulled over and a ticket for going 2 miles over the speed limit in a school zone.
I watched somebody yesterday get pulled over in the school zone on our way to school.
Have you ever been through like a spot check?
No.
We
I
ran
don't
from one.
think.
Oh, well, I was in one, and I did not know what it was. There's all these bright lights on.
Oh my gosh.
This was like adulthood, like within the last couple years.
What?
I've never been in one before. Like I didn't even know they happened. And there's like lines of people and the lights are bright and I was so confused. And the cop comes up to my door and I was like, what is happening right now?
Is there an accident or something?
And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. What is going on?
He's like, get out of the car, walk the line.
He goes, did you have anything to drink tonight? And I said, yeah, Diet Coke. And he goes, what was in it? And I said, ice.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, oh my gosh, okay, she's good. She can go.
Oh my
I didn't
word.
know. I was so confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diet Coke. What was in it?
Ice, duh.
Oh my
gosh, that's amazing. Was it on Arlington Road?
I don't remember.
Because they
I
usually
think I was
do.
accidentally on my way to Zaletta.
Oh, they do a lot of them
I think
over
that
there.
is where I lived at the time, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Manchester Road over there.
I felt like such a dork. But Rex, yes. I've been in many.
Oh, too many.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Do we have bad ones?
I have a really bad one.
I have a bad one too. Go for it.
So
Probably
I
not
was
as bad as yours.
driving to work in my Jeep Wrangler down 224.
I love those.
It was the best car. So cool. Anyway, I'm driving, getting ready to get on the Kenmore leg. And
Where's that? I'm kidding.
on 224,
I
the
know where
sun's
it is.
bright.
She's making fun of me. It's fine.
It's all backed up.
Okay.
I thought that was Howe Road that happened to you.
So I get over into the lane to go up Kenmore Boulevard or Kenmore Leg, and it's like backed up. This car, a Toyota Highlander, I remember the make of the car that it was, comes flying over the hill, hits me at 60 miles an hour. Did not see me. Hit me in the back. My car flips around and puts me right in the line of traffic. So all these cars are flying right at my door.
What?
And the car stopped like maybe 2 feet from my door. And I was able to get out. But the whole back, the Jeep was like, you could not salvage it. There's no way. The back seat was in the front seat. Like, I shouldn't have probably walked away from
So
that.
scary.
Oh, wow.
It
That's
was
scary.
terrifying.
That's scary.
So maybe Howe Avenue just reminded you of that because you freaked out before when we've been there. Because I think because a big line will happen on the highway.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Straight panic attack. I'm like, what is going on?
It's crazy.
I was on my way to work and I was stopped at a stop sign and I looked both ways and I didn't see anybody coming. And so I pulled out. Well, there was somebody coming and this woman hit me with, so I was in my RSX Acura and
My favorite.
yes, red. And this big Oldsmobile, like metal bumper, huge car, is like flying down the road and hits me so hard that the mirror on my right side is down the road.
Oh my god.
Wow.
My wheel went underneath of my vehicle and every window was busted out. And so, like, I'm sitting in there with, like, glass all over me. And I was, like, traumatized. So I was just sitting there. I didn't move. And, like, a couple of the pastors, because it was actually close to the chapel where I went to church. And a couple of the pastors stopped and, like, they were like, Crystal, you can get out. And I'm like, I was, like, terrified.
Wow.
But they didn't total my car.
really?
Yeah, none of my airbags went off. They fixed it. It took like a million weeks, but yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I've never been in like a traumatic car accident,
That's good.
but I have hit Aaron's car, his truck, in the driveway.
In the driveway, yeah. Yep. Big
Because
red.
it's a huge red truck, and I was so embarrassed because I was backing out, and I'm just not used to the truck being there, and he parked it somewhere it's not supposed to go, and I just backed right into it. My bumper hit, like it was dented. He walks out onto the deck and I'm mortified. I'm like covering my face and he goes, "Hey, listen, it's fine. I can understand why you didn't see that big giant red truck right there." I was so embarrassed.
Wait, there was another time.
So we leased cars for a while. And I just got
For a while? I think you just got them, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So they were brand. Well, when I said for a while, I mean like for
you were
years.
leasing vehicles.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for a while. But we just got 2 new ones. Both of us had brand new leased vehicles in our driveway. And he parked in a spot that I wasn't used to. People shouldn't do that.
Yes.
And I was in a hurry to get to the movie theater, and I backed right into it. His brand new car. Camera. I probably did. I backed up into his brand new car with my brand new car, and he watched me do it.
Oh.
And he's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I did it on purpose." So then we're fighting. And then I go to the movies, and I'm upset the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, I've lost hubcaps, and I don't know how.
I have done that, too.
Yeah. So the worst wreck I've ever been in, though, was when, I don't remember why I didn't have a car, but my friend, her parents let me borrow their car. It wasn't even my friend's car.
Oh, no.
And it's actually Kelly's family, the same cousin that you didn't want to miss her wedding. They let me borrow their car. And I was driving, and I looked down for a minute. And when I looked back up, the car in front of me stopped. Probably brake checked me.
You.
And I slammed into the back of their car. And I was like sobbing. I called her, and I'm like, "I just wrecked your parents' car." And I was mortified. They were so nice to me about it, but it was awful. The only car I've ever like really wrecked wasn't my own.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a good driver, though.
You are a good
Can you
driver.
tell?
Yeah. I mean, you haven't been in an accident, so that's good.
Yes, I have. I just told you.
like a little one.
Too many accidents over here.
So any final thoughts or things? I have one more question.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran out of gas before?
No.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
I have.
I don't think I have. No, I have
I
not.
think I have twice.
My husband has multiple times before we were like married. Hillary, I remember you calling my husband for some help.
I did.
You were on the highway.
I was on the highway?
Pretty sure. In that Explorer or whatever you had. And you had no gas. So he had to come to your rescue.
I don't even remember.
Because your husband was at work and Lenny was working from home.
Help me. My mom used to get so mad at me because I would use her AAA.
Oh, yeah.
And she would have to come save me when I ran out of gas.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, "Would you stop doing this?"
Do you not remember running out of gas?
I remember
And
running out of gas.
Lenny to help you.
I don't remember why.
Or you called me and I made Lenny go help you.
Yeah, I feel like I probably wouldn't just call him to help me, but
True.
funny.
I've done it probably like
A lot.
45.
Yeah.
45 times.
At least 10. Like it's been a lot.
Oh, my. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
I think I only did twice.
And somebody always has to save me.
I walked to work one day because I was like almost to work and I ran out of gas and I parked the car, locked it, walked to work, and then we had a security guard and I was like, can you go put some gas in my car?
So bad.
He was a police officer and he was like, "Yes, I can. I love you." And I'm like, "I know you do."
Wow. I never ran out of gas.
No?
No.
Well, good for you.
Unless I blocked it out of my memory.
It could be.
It could be.
Thanks for cruising with us through Tales of the Road. Remember, whether you're driving or riding, keep your cool and stay safe. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel. Thank you for listening to the Calm, the Storm, the Whimsy podcast. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay tuned for our next episode.
time, there was like a salamander crawling across the basement floor.
And I didn't
Crystal's
believe you.
Oh, I'm like, that's a centipede. Lenny, come get the centipede. And we like try to get close. I'm like, that isn't a centipede. It was a salamander.
Where does that come from?
Outside.